Brahmarandra, Rudra Grandhi, Brahma Grandhi, Vishnu Grandhi are the different channels in our body, not a physical body, but in the different body, in our aura, those things will exist. And on the chakras, the Mooladhara chakra, the Swadhisthana chakra, Manipura chakra, all these chakras. In this, they are symbolic way of showing them as petals of lotus, and 2 petals in 12 petals, 16 petals here.
Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tatvamasyadi Raksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nityanandam, welcome back everybody to another episode of Guru Gita Jnana Ganga, quenching your thirst with Guru's grace. My name is Sri Nithyananda, ordained Nityananda Yogacharya, and I have with me as always Sri Nityananda Charana, temple priest at Kailasa in Los Angeles, Nityanandeshwar Hindu Temple. And we have been exploring the Guru Gita, the great revelations of Paramashiva to Parvati, and really enjoying the taste of what the greatest or the ultimate master or the ultimate guru has taught and spoken to the ultimate disciple. And we have been going through each verse individually. Sri Charana will read out or chant out the Sanskrit pramana, and then we'll dive into the translation and explore what the meaning is and what Paramashiva is really trying to express to his disciples, and then correlating these teachings with our own master, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, and the revelations that he's giving for the modern day seeker in 2020. And so if this is your first time here rather, not to worry, each verse has its own power, its own depth. You do not need to listen along with each one. We are at verse 113 today though, and that's where we're going to start off. And so yes, highly recommend following along, sitting down, just listening to the great enlightened teachings of the ultimate guru, Paramashiva. And if you're in your car, you're doing chores at home, this is the perfect ultimate class to sit and listening to the greatest master of all time, and seeing how it can really inspire you and enhance your seeking for the ultimate as well. And so with that, Sri Charana, why don't we dive into verse 113 of the Guru Gita.
Svetambaram sveta vipulepa pushpam mukta vibhusham muditam vinetram vamanka sthita divya shaktim mandasmitam purna krupa nidhanam.
And then could you actually read verse 114 as well?
Jnanaswarupam nijabhava yuktam anandamanandakaram prasannam Yogindra Meetyam Bhavaroga Vaidyam Srimatkurum Nityamaham Namami.
So this is an awesome verse, as all the others are. One who is adorned with a white garment, who is bedecked with white flowers, who is decorated with pearls, whose eyes are full of bliss, on whose left lap is seated the divine Shakti, who has a gentle smile, who is the abode of compassion, who is an embodiment of wisdom, who is communed with the truth of oneness, who is the eternal bliss, and who confers bliss upon everyone, who remains always cheerful, who is Yogindra, and the Lord of the yogis, who is worshipped by everyone, and who, as a physician, cures the disease of bhava, samsara. To that Supreme Guru, I prostrate forever.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a beautiful description of Sadasiva. sitting in a white dress, having Shakti on his lap, sitting it and really blissfully gracing his disciples. That is a beautiful, and he is the embodiment of knowledge, and he is the best cure for any human disease, like anything. So bhava roga, where we are stuck in right now, the as a bhava roga means it is like a egoistic world, an egocentric world. Bhava roga, that is one. That is ego. We have to remove it. That is that, like he is a blissful surgeon sitting with all his powers to to dissect and remove your ego from your space without harming you, without touching you. He is ready to do the surgical operation, and with grace and with all loving, all. That's why he is most worshipped by many people, many seekers. He's Sadasiva.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful description of Sadashiva Vishnu, Sri Mahadeva.
I think it's really important to keep that vision or that visualization of Shiva in mind as well, especially if you are on the spiritual path, you're a sincere disciple or seeker. Oftentimes Swamiji has mentioned that he's the surgeon, the master is the master surgeon, and we're there holding on to our patterns, and they're cancerous, and we don't want to let them go. And so the master has the most difficult job, Swamiji is saying, and dissecting that cancerous tumor, and in such a gentle and subtle way to remove that from your being, so you can get to that ultimate space, to embrace Paramashivatva yourself. And so that visualization of Paramashiva, even your Guru Swamiji, in such a way certainly helps remind you that even though when you're going through difficult points in your spiritual seeking or in your journey, that the master is very much, he's not out to get you. He's the most beloved divine presence in your life, and he's only there to support and help you.
Yes.
So verse 115 we'll jump to.
Vande Gurunam Charanarvindam Sandarsita Swatma Sukhambudinam Janasya Yesham Gulikaya Manam Samsara Hala Hala Mohasyantyai.
I prostrate at the lotus feet of the Guru, who shows the man the ocean of eternal bliss, which is inherent in him, and who, like a medicinal pill, cures the man who is affected by the hala hala of worldly existence and grants him peace. Now, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, hala hala is another name of poison.
Okay.
Poison, that the world is with poisonous thing, and of course hala dala, they say Shiva will be holding on his tongue the blue neck he has. It is he controlled that hala hala and not to do any further destroy. He took that and he get it with his yoga power. He got it stuck here in his throat. So to remove this, save us from this worldly poisonous situations or poisonous environment, he is there to protect us and help us. That's what explains to here. And I prostrate to him. He is the only solution for all the worldly negative things.
I think one of the ways for the modern seeker, a lot of time I hear people saying that they don't need a guru and the guru is within. And it's really important to understand that even Shiva is saying here that the ocean of eternal bliss is within. Yes. Guru is just here to guide you to that ocean of eternal bliss within you.
Yes. The thing is, it says that unless until you identify yourself with a form, you should have another form to worship and to prostrate and do it. That is the method to experience the inner guru, experience the thing. Otherwise, there is no other. Certainly, you should have another guru externally to worship and guide you in this world. Otherwise, you'll be confused. I don't know what is your ego is talking, or you are talking, or a lot of talks are happening. Some all those things. A lot of confusion is there.
Yeah.
So in that, only the solution is to approach a enlightened master externally, who will say, he will show the your guru, inner guru inside in you. Actually, there is one Shankaracharya used to say that in one of these Bhajagovindam. Bhajagovindam is a Shankaracharya's poetry about humanity. He says that in that one of the last stanzas, he says that who will prostrate to Guru, those will be liberated, and the Guru will show the ultimate in their own heart. There is a beautiful sloka in Bhajagovinda. So that way you will have to approach him, and he will give you the Atma Jnana, and he will say, yeah, you are that. Like Aham Brahmasmi, that concept. Aham Brahmasmi means you are that. But unless you approach with all sort of student things that the external guru tells you, he will bring you to the highest point where you will realize yourself in the last moment that yes, the actual guru is in my heart only. But till that time, you are completely in delusion. So for that to analyze, you should certainly prostrate to the. He will keep you, test you. He will test your ego, test your patience, test everything. You will completely exhausted and the drop of everything under his feet. Then he will give that glimpse of the self-realization. That is what many of the stories says, that many masters, many disciples struggled, and finally could not able to find anything and gave up. And then the bliss or the enlightenment descended into them, like the realizing the self guru. And till that time, we don't know whether your ego is talking or your experience or nothing. They are all full with up and downs and always in all aspects.
Another that ties into the different dimensions of Guru as well. You're saying the Guru works on you in different ways. One should, in the next verse, could you chant that out first? And we'll dive into that.
Sushtisthit Dvamsa Nigrahanugrahatmakam Krutvam Panchavidham Shashvat Bhasate Tam Gurum Bhajate Bachet.
One should worship that Guru in whom the 5 kinds of actions shine forever, which are creation, preservation, dissolution, nigraha, the ability to subdue the evil forces, as well as anugraha, the ability to confer blessings upon beings. This is verse 116.
Yeah, this exactly the qualities of Sadashiva and Shiva. Panchakrutya Parayanaha. We can say Panchakrutya Parayanaha. He will be always immersed in creating sustenance, putting the regeneration, putting into delusion, and giving liberation, moksha. All these things he will be doing in cycle. That qualities you will find in the Guru who is doing it, who will be thing. So we can't, in many situations, we can't say he has given a solution to somebody and that the solution work for you. That will not be so. You have to have a one-on-one connection with the actual enlightened master, and really get the instruction from him for you, and they will work on you and your ego. But he said to somebody something, and I will follow that, it won't work. So that way, one-on-one, and because he knows where your context of situation, how your mind thinks, where from you came, and the solution given to you is not equal to anybody's solution, and anybody's solution is not pertinent to you. So that way, you have to, with the grace, with the complete surrender, you have to work with him to find the solution and come out of any situation. Then he will walk you to the ultimate liberation.
Okay, verses. Could you chant verse 117 and 118 together?
Padabje sarva samsara dava kalanalam svake brahmarandre stitam bhojas samajjastham chandramandalam akadhadi trirekhabje sahasradala mandale Hamsa Parshva Trikone cha Smare Tanmachagam Gurum.
At the Brahma Randhra of a person is the 1,000-petaled lotus, inside which is the Chandra Mandala. Inside the Chandra Mandala, there lies a triangle, the 3 lines which represent the sacred syllables A, Ka, and Ta. At the center of this triangle, on either side of which the syllables Hum and Sa are located, dwells the Guru, whose lotus feet possess the raging fire, which is capable of burning out the entire forest of samsara. One should reflect upon that supreme Guru. Okay, so there's a few words here used that you can maybe elaborate on. Brahmarandra.
Yeah, actually, they are say Brahmarandra, Rudrarandra, Rudra Grandhi, Brahma Grandhi, Vishnu Grandhi are the different channels in our body, not a physical body, but in the different body, in our aura, those things will exist. And on the chakras, the Muladhara chakra, the Swadhisthana chakra, Manipura chakra, all these chakras. In this, they are symbolic way of showing them as petals of lotus, and 2 petals in 12 petals, 16 petals here, like that. There is a big science. We can go in detail later, but those things in that, these things, you try to find the energy of Guru working you, walking you, and helping you to rise you. So there is another thing Swamiji used tell, that you are in a world, you will be circulating always with the Manipuraka, Swadhisthana, and Muladhara. Muladhara is completely 80% of the whole energy is locked in Muladhara for common human being. So 80% of your energy is locked there. And the Manipur Swadhisthana is the energy of your prana or your fear energy. And the Manipuraka is a lot of worries you have. If there is one Swamiji's book called Guaranteed Solutions, if you read that, it will have a beautiful understanding of what each chakra is and how we have a lot of fear, we have a lot of worries, we have a lot of desires. So those who are got caught with the worldly things will circulate here, circle. They'll find the fears going to worries, and again worries are dissolved, and again some desires coming up. This is a circulate go on. But to rise you to a higher circle like heart, Vishuddhi, your skill sets are there in Vishuddhi chakra. Skill sets are your understanding about yourself, and that book is beautifully explains that the Vishuddhi chakra, where your talent, your ego, or your confidence of what you can do, those things are staying in this energy. And your focus and your concentration, everything will be in this energy that is called. So with the presence of Guru and the spiritual path which you follow, you will be circulating in these 3 instead of those below 3. So if you are caught in the worldly things, you will be your thing prana, or your lives will be circulating with fear, fear worries, desires, that only. But then you will get the love, the heart chakra, the talents or skill sets, and the decision power to manipulate those things, manifestation of those things. Those things will circulate like this. So he will rise you to that higher chakras and higher concepts, higher these things, consciousness. Then mundane, luxurious pleasures and those things. So that is these are of course, in essence, this is a thing what he want to explain in this these 2 slokas.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. Then let's move on to verse 119.
Nityam Shuddham Nirabhasam Nirakaram Niranjanam Nityabodham Chidanandam Gurum Brahma Samamyaham Namamyaham.
I prostrate to the Guru, who is eternal, pure, devoid of illusion, formless and spotless, who is the embodiment of the eternal wisdom as well as the eternal bliss, and who is verily the Brahman.
Yes. It all derives to Nityananda. So say Nityananda, the Swamiji is having these qualities of always pure, nirabhas, always radiating, always all pervasiveness, and always nitya bodham means always teaching. Out of see the words comes from the master, all out of simple compassion. He knows all your logic, but to take you away from your logical thinking and all that, he will use his words to bring you an upward consciousness, and he will give his satsangs, all these things. So nitya bodham and always blissful, and that's why we need to worship this enlightened being, enlightened master Nityananda. Yeah.
Well said. Well said.
Yes.
Let's go straight to verse 120.
सकल भुवन सृष्टि कल्पिताशेष सृष्टिम निखिल निगम दुष्टिम सत्पदानेक सृष्टिम अतद्गण परमेष्टि सप्तधार्नेक दृष्टिम भवगण भवगुण परमेष्टिर्मोक्ष मार्गेक दृष्टिः.
The divine vision of the Guru creates all the worlds and nourishes them. It holds the essence of all the Vedas and regards the worldly wealth as a trifle. It removes all imperfections in a disciple and leads him to the Supreme. It bestows upon one all the worldly merits and shows him the path of liberation.
Yeah. Actually, this is in concise. This is Tattvamasya Lakshyam. When you are chanting or Nityananda Paramashivam chant, Tattvamasya Lakshyam means liberating you from all his illusions and taking you ever is only his aim. The only aim is or purpose of his life or his his avatar Purusha is to liberate you and take you away from these things where you are stuck with. Because Tattvamasya Laksham, only objective is to give enlightenment. That's what Swami told in many of the satsangs.
Could you repeat that? What did you say, sorry?
The Swamiji's Tattvamasya Laksham. Actually, in Nityanandam Paramashivam, we'll say one word called Tattvamasya Laksham. Giving liberation is only his objective. Only purpose of his avatar Purusha. So he is seeing the people who are dwelling in all sort of delusions, and he has a clear idea what takes you, what is your roga or what is your disease. And he is here to give the solution and take you off. And his action is only selfless compassion, compassion to the people who are dwelling in darkness. So that way he pours his love or pours his grace on his disciples who follows him and sees them, corrects them, and make them towards just they may see many people have different egocentric people, like they may be art skills, they may be having PhDs, all sort of things, but they are still in the rut of running for money, which is materialistic, which is impermanent. To make them realize, see what is permanent, for that you have to put your efforts and work for it. That way he will take each the people to the higher consciousness. That is his objective. So he knows everything. That's why his only objective is to enlighten human beings.
And I was thinking about this earlier today. Swamiji's, he's a guru that uses all techniques, every technique that is available to help you become liberated, for you to experience Paramashivatva. He uses, whether that's a japa yoga, dhyana, darshans with dikshas, anything. He's using it if it helps elevate you to super consciousness. And whether that's his books, like we've mentioned a lot of books. His main program, Paramashivoham, which we've also talked about, that 16-day online program that is available for anybody across the world to experience his darshan and to experience what it means to have a guru's presence in your life. You can have a taste of that, not a taste, but the whole the whole experience itself through two-way video conference via Zoom. This program is conducted, and when the master's eyes land on you, it's beyond words. So if you're somebody that's truly a sincere seeker and you're interested in experiencing the ultimate, to really experience what enlightenment is, that living enlightenment possibility for yourself, highly recommend checking out Paramashivoham. And then, of course, just like I mentioned, all the various different teachings that Swamiji has available to the planet through his books, his discourses. You definitely check those out as well. The Guru, the ultimate Guru, the Avatar, has landed on the planet and is not to be missed. And so with that, we'll close the Guru Gita session here for today, and we'll jump off the next session at verse 120, I believe it was. And so we'll close out with Sri Nithyananda Charana. Maybe you can lead us in the Purna Mantra.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.